go.
Are we live?
Hey, everybody.
It's okay.
Still black.
Can you guys hear us?
There we go.
You guys hear us? Okay.
All right, we're live.
Hey guys, we're really excited about this. We're excited to be here. Thanks for to Porn Harms and this whole campaign, the Be Aware campaign, for doing this. We're excited. My name's Clay.
I'm Cam, and we are super pumped to be doing this presentation. We've been looking forward to this for a while, and we're looking forward to your comments, you engaging. We've got a moderator here to help us out too, so if our volume's off, if the technology is off, be sure to let us know,
Totally.
and we'll get started. We're excited about this.
We got all this cardboard here. It'll all make sense in a second. Just stay with us. But first, we just want you guys to know that Cam and I, we're fighters.
We're fighters.
Fighters is a term that we use for our organization. We started an organization about 4 years ago called Fight the New Drug. So basically what we're saying is we're fighters in this fight against pornography, as all of you are.
It kind of started in a really cool way, I guess you could say. About 4 years ago, we got together a bunch of friends.
In college.
And we were in college and got together, and in this discussion, one of the guys brought up and said, hey, we should do something about this issue. And it really struck us, like it struck a chord.
I had a family member who had gone to prison for this issue. I mean, we'd all been exposed.
We'd all been exposed to it.
It was a huge issue, and we were just like, we got to do something. We got to do something that's gonna address this issue for individuals to help them, prevent further issues.
Yeah, and we weren't quite sure what we were going to do, so to speak. So we started to do a lot of research and education ourselves. And
education ourselves.
Is that what I said? Education.
Educate ourselves on this issue, and so then we started an organization called Fight the New Drug. You can see the banner right back here, and it's an educational campaign for youth on the harmful effects of pornography. So we go around, we do assemblies, we go around, we start chapters in college campuses and talk to high schools. We put on events. We just had an event. We
had a big concert in Salt Lake City, actually. Fantastic. Had like 3,000 young kids come out. It was
And we say that
cool.
because we've got youth. We talk to youth. That's what we do. We talk to youth. We listen to youth, and we're pinpointing that issue because we want you to understand that this is not coming from one parent to another. This is not how to educate your youth about the harmful effects of pornography from one parent to another, because I don't have kids.
I wish I did. I want to have like 20.
This is not
don't yet.
parent to parent. This is youth to parent, okay? This is to help you understand. We're taking everything that we've learned and helping you understand. So basically, if we were to retitle this, instead of how to educate your youth on the harmful effects of pornography, we'd retitle it to be what your youth wish you knew about this issue when talking to them. What they wish you knew. So here we go.
Story time.
But yeah, here
ready.
we go. But we're going to start with a story. This guy right here.
Oh, hold it up for me.
Dr. Raymond Pearl, right here. Okay, so this guy, in 1938, he was a professor at Johns Hopkins University. And he was a professor, he did a lot of research, and some of that research uncovered some pretty important information that linked lung cancer and tobacco. Basically saying that lung cancer is caused by tobacco. Now, this is information that was never discovered, it was unheard of, and this is 1938 when everybody smoked. And all of a sudden, this information came out. That's probably information that people would want to know about, right? But the powers that be, which was the industry, the tobacco industry, squashed the information, squashed the research and the data, and never saw the light of day. 4 years later, Dr. Raymond Pearl passed away, having his research never saw the light of day. It wasn't until 1952, nearly 15 years after the research was done and 10 years after his death, that Reader's Digest came out with an article called Cancer by the Carton, which basically exposed his research and said, yep, there's a link, tobacco and lung cancer. Well, this exploded the industry. All of a sudden, millions of dollars were put into this huge debate over whether tobacco was good for you, healthy for you, or bad for you. And there was people on both sides of the fence. In fact,
and originally it was more that it's good for you. I mean,
Well,
the tobacco industry.
The tobacco industry, all of a sudden, can you see this? I'm going to even come up close. Can you see that? Tobacco industry put millions of dollars into campaigns. This is kind of laughable. almost now, saying like, look at that, it's a physician, a doctor, it's healthy, trying to soothe the concern. Here's another one. This is for Chester cigarettes. Now, scientific evidence that shows that it's less irritable, that it's okay, don't worry. And hundreds of other ads and articles and commercials saying, it's okay, it's not bad. Science hadn't caught up to truth. The truth was that tobacco was harmful, and it always had been. But we didn't have the technology, it hadn't caught up to truth. We're in a similar debate today regarding pornography. Science is just now catching up with what has always been true. That pornography is an addiction, that it can be incredibly addictive, it has similar addictive potential as any other drug, and that it has incredible harmful effects. But 20 years ago, this discussion was only a moral one. It was only I don't think it's right, I don't think you should do it, and it was really kind of an argument that didn't go anywhere because it was subjective to the individuals communicating, and it kind of was a agree to disagree kind of a conversation. We're not in that same debate anymore.
Times have
some
changed.
legs to stand on.
It's exciting, and really what our organization is completely based on. But a lot of people often ask us, why the youth? And let's show you why the youth. I'll hold this up for a second. What's interesting and funny about this issue, about the issue of pornography, is you usually don't see the effects until later on in life. Until you're older, right? When you're an adult.
That's when all the effects become evident. They start way back.
I was exposed early. Clay, the majority
young.
of everyone they're exposed at an early age.
Yeah.
And what's funny is that we don't really do any type of preventative
We
work. We wait until the
react.
damage has happened. Once the damage is there in your adult age.
Then we want to address the issue. We don't want to address it when they're young. We want to address it when we're adults, so we can talk about this topic. But the truth is, this is something that we've got to address in the beginning, or people are going to be walking into this blindly and not knowing. And so we've got to stop being naive on the issue. You guys grew up in a totally different world than the youth are today. Totally different.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Way back when, no, I'm just kidding. Not trying to hurt any feelings.
Not too
You're not
late.
too old. But, I mean, really look back, pre-internet. I mean, to be able to get access to pornography, you had to go out of your house. You had to go seek it out. You had to go find it.
Well, you had to jump social barriers. You had to
It
kind
cost
of
money. I mean, there was just a
ask
whole lot.
for the magazine from behind the counter. I mean, it was.
Oh yeah, and it was a topic that for that time it was pretty much swept under the rug. It wasn't
Nobody wanted to talk about it.
really uncomfortable. Not something you really bring up at the dinner table. Hey, little Johnny,
Taboo.
how's it going? What's the pornography outlook today? No, I'm just kidding.
Totally a taboo topic. You didn't want to discuss it, and that's why we didn't. We haven't. As a society, we just kind of sweep this under the rug, and we've got to stop doing that. This is an issue. This is a real issue, an issue like it's like a drug. We've got to start addressing this with our youth. So swallow that pill right now. Parents out there, swallow that pill. You've got to do it.
So let's
We're
kind
going to
of
help you do that, but you got to do it.
exactly. So let's kind of look at your world versus today's world, the world that youth live in today. Since the internet, 1993, pornography is everywhere. It's like 25% of all internet searches. It's free. You don't have to pay for it. You can find it. It finds you. It comes
It's on
into-
everybody's cell phone.
comes in, yeah, the mobile technology. I mean, you can access it from virtually anywhere that you have internet. And so the game has changed completely. Now people who just have maybe some innocent curiosity or who didn't even want to be a part of it from the beginning, they're hooked. They don't even know.
Yeah. It's something that we can't sweep under the rug any longer, okay? So we've got to address it, we've got to deal with it, and we've got to give you guys a reality check, even though it pains us to do it a little bit. We've got to give it to you because some of you are just, there's a kind of two worlds here. What the youth are experiencing and what they're engaging with, and what you guys are experiencing and what you think that they're engaging with. And they're not connecting. We've got to bring those together. You might have an understanding or a belief of what your kid's being exposed to. Sadly, you might be wrong.
Yeah, and so a part of the reality check is not just for you. It's what we had to have before we started this organization. It's every person we come in contact with, they all have to get a reality check. It's critical if we're going to even do anything about this issue. We all need to know the reality of it.
The average age of exposure is 11 years old, okay? And we've found statistics that even show that it's 9 years old, but we want the more conservative.
Can I do that?
We
My
want the
favorite
more
part?
conservative number.
9.
Yeah. So 9,
It's a little door.
11's the more accepted number, but that's really young to be exposed to this. And when we talk about exposed, we're not talking about the J.C. Penney catalog. We're talking about hardcore pornography.
Largest group?
The largest group of internet porn users, 12 to 17. That's your kids. They're being exposed, and we're asking the question, well, should we be talking to our youth about this? Yeah.
And don't think that it's just your boys. Don't think it's just the boys out there. Women, look at this. 30% of addicts are girls, are women.
And that number has skyrocketed over the last decade. Before, almost all the content out there was geared for the men's desires, and the industry kind of said, hey, we're totally missing a market here, and they've started to create content that's more emotionally driven, less visually driven, and that number is climbing. So girls are being exposed a lot.
Exposed and addicted. So.
And 9 out of 10 youth have been exposed.
Yeah, which is important to note because a lot of the times, again, going back to this reality check, a lot of parents will say, "Oh, well, that's 30% of the people who are involved with it," or it's that group. It's not my kid.
Yeah.
No way, not my little angel.
Yeah, it's kind of coming back
9
to that
out of
like
10.
naivety thing. We got to stop saying, "Oh, not my kid." They would never do something like that. I know. I've got 3 girls. I don't have boys. Boys are the ones that have an issue. They don't have issues. Or, oh, my boy, he's involved in this way or whatever at church, and he's good. The reality, the sad truth, is that it's hitting everybody. Good people
and bad people. I'm just kidding.
and as well as those that you might think that might be exposed to it and be attracted to it. But what we're trying to say is that we don't say that anymore. Don't say not my kid. We've got to do what it takes to educate all of our kids so that they have an equal chance at fighting this, because it's coming in and it's knocking on their door. I promise you that.
And we wanted to take a minute now and share with you some emails that we get. We get
right.
emails on a regular basis from different organizations from youth kind of telling their story or what's going on. And so we wanted to, again, a part of the reality check is show you in their own words. These are not our words. This is their words coming from them. What their thoughts and feelings.
No.
Yeah, it's it might be a little bit heavy, but it's real.
Yeah, some of the content's heavy, but this is part of the reality check. This is what they're experiencing, and this is what they're saying. And so even if it's hard to hear, you've got to start to understand that. And this comes from a lot of emails that we've received, as well as some organizations that have sent emails on to us. This is the tip of the iceberg. Mm-hmm. Go ahead with the first one.
I'm going to start. This is from a young boy. He says, I'm 14. I was introduced to porn by my friend when I was 11, and ever since, I can't stop watching porn and masturbating. I feel tired and disgusting. It makes me angry that I think that I like this.
This is a young girl. So again, going back to that not just boy issue, this is a young girl who says, "Hi, I'm almost 14. She's 13 years old. I'm almost 14 years old, and I have a strong addiction to pornography and sometimes masturbation. It started at a young age of 8 or 9. I managed to bring up the courage to tell my parents about it. They're very strict and said I should be ashamed of myself, which I am, but I can't go back to them. I can't tell them. I just can't."
Another story is from a young boy again. It says, not a young boy, he's a senior in high school. It says, "I'm a senior in high school and I've been dealing with an addiction to porn and masturbating since 7th grade, almost 6 years. At first it was nothing, but now it became a full-on addiction. Unfortunately, I became addicted to gay porn. I felt like I was straight, but something was chaining me to porn. I still believe that I'm not gay and that as soon as I break this addiction, I will be straight. I need help. I'm Catholic, so this has been very, very hard on me. I hate having this addiction. It has started to affect my relationships and my grades."
A young boy. "Hi, I'm 16. I've been addicted to masturbation and pornography since I was about 13. I'm a Christian, and I know I've been forgiven, but the guilt and shame is almost unbearable, And to make things worse, I am a respected individual at my church and children looked up to me. But I'm no role model. I can't live with myself.
Another young man here, he says, I'm currently a teen and I'm addicted to pornography. It's been years, but I'm still at an early age. It's been years that he's been addicted, but it's still at an early age. I hope I can strike the addiction before it progresses too far. With any luck, I can keep avoidance.
And this is the last one we'll share with you, and this is another young girl that's been exposed and has suffered. I'm another young teenager that has been addicted, but I can't say my age or people will gasp saying, oh, she's way too young to be watching this stuff. But to tell you the truth, I started when I was 8. For about a year until my parents found out. Then I stopped. But it came back 10 times harder. Just about a year and a half ago. But I'm not self-deprived or depressed. I'm actually a track chick. And I'm very hyper if I say so.
She likes to run a lot, in
Yeah.
case.
Yeah. But I'm still addicted. I can't tell anyone, especially not my parents. They were shocked and sort of depressed when I was caught in the act a couple years ago. In fact, even then, they did nothing. I had to stop myself, and now I can't. But I'm too young. I can't even drive. What do I do? Again, tip of the iceberg. We have pages and pages and pages of other emails, not to mention that these are just the individuals with the courage to contact somebody. You all heard that they don't dare talk to you guys. They don't dare talk to their parents. And they had enough courage to contact somebody online with the anonymity. Go ahead.
Just fight the new drug. Often we say this, that a lot of people might think, especially parents, that, oh, well, this conversation isn't really going on yet. This is, I don't want to get them curious about the issue. The reality is they're having the conversation. Yeah. It's behind closed doors. It's a secret.
It's with their peers. It's kind of an exciting conversation. Dude, check this out. We always say at Fight the Drug, we're here to change the conversation from, dude, check this out, to, dude, that's messed up.
Mm-hmm.
We got to change that perception among the youth. And it starts with you guys. It starts with the parents. So we're here to change the conversation. We've got a friend here that we want to talk to.
Really excited about. Her name is Maria. She's totally awesome, totally cool. We're so excited that she's willing to come on and kind of just introduce herself, share her story, and I'm sure she'll take some questions if you want after this session as well. But we're going to bring her on. I'm going to go off.
Yeah.
So come on.